Good afternoon. It's Melanie from Success on Purpose. It's 4 o'clock. I'm back doing my 4 o'clock lives. Hope you've had a great week. And what I wanted to talk about today is just some of my learnings for the week. And what I've realized is that I put a lot of pressure on myself at the start of the year. And I actually realized that this is a pattern that I have been picking up. And it's really good when you notice your patterns, because then you can actually change them. And I know for me, I get really excited about the start of the year and I start creating goals and I get really excited about all these goals. And then, hey guys, and then I start planning things for the year. And then the next thing I realize is that I get into a bit of that chaos energy, that there's so much going on, and then I start to feel overwhelmed. And I don't function well anymore when I'm overwhelmed. I used to thrive off it. I used to love being stressed. But as I've done all this work on myself, I feel stressed now, whereas it was just my normal for so many years. So I didn't actually know any different. So now, I've just become really aware of that start of the year, and then I'm going along for a little bit, and then I start to feel overwhelmed. And then I just looked back at things and I was like, hang on a minute, this is a pattern that I actually do at the start of the year. Plan all these goals, and then I had a session with one of my mentors yesterday, and what came up for me was that I forget about the journey and start focusing on the destination, which then, hello from Queensland, which then creates me to get into overwhelm. So I just wanted to share a couple of tips today might help you that actually work for me. For me now, I'm focusing on the journey, not the destination. Hi, my beautiful cat. How are you? What have you said? I saw the question and laughed because no, not at all. I'm still planning my year. Oh, you're hilarious. Oh, good on you. Well, that's good. Half your luck. Because, we've got a whole year. And then we've got a whole year after that. Well, hopefully. I do live every day like it's my last. And sometimes I do put a bit of pressure on myself because of that. But, the other thing that I wanted to say around that is expectations. The only way that we can be unsatisfied with things, disappointed about things really, is when we have expectations. I had 2 new projects that I was working on this year with collaborating with some other people. And I was really excited about it. Learning new things, being amongst some amazing professionals and just being in a totally different space. And just really enjoying the process. I thought I was quite detached from it, but when I look back at it now, I think I was actually quite attached, because these 2 projects actually didn't work out. And the other point of that I want to share today is that sometimes, because I can be too positive sometimes you have to go into those spaces of allowing yourself to grieve when things don't work. Because I found that I can just go, oh, well, that didn't work out. There's something better coming around the corner. Like I've really learned to trust in the process. But in that space also is that I need to allow myself to grieve for what didn't turn out. Because if you don't allow yourself to grieve, then you don't finish that and then allow the new things to come through. And that's really important, is to feel, to be in our emotions. And that's something that I've learnt to do very well. And so I took myself with my mentor yesterday and allowed myself to grieve and be sad about things not working out. And now on the other side of that, I feel really happy and positive and free and light again. But it's only because I allowed myself to grieve for that yesterday. And had I not, I would be, you just keep being positive, but then quite often there's a part of you that feels that resistance to being positive. So sometimes you've just got to go to those spaces and then allow yourself to grieve and to move through those things. Love that. Yes, thanks, gorgeous. Self-compassion, very important. Yes, I love you too. Yes, very, very, very important. And the other thing that I wanted to say for me was, the just really hooking into for me, and I suppose the reason why I do these Facebook Lives really is that as I share it, it's reinforcing things for me, so that then I'm taking them on even more. And what I want to say to everyone is, if you're putting pressure on yourself, to take that pressure off. Because then we're in a stress response. So then we're in our sympathetic nervous system, and then that's when everything shuts down, especially our mind, our prefrontal cortex. We have no oxygen going there, and that's our thinking center. So I find for me, when I take the pressure off, be kind to myself, then everything starts to happen a lot more effortlessly. And then from that space, exciting opportunities happen, and things just come in that, you didn't see, you didn't realize and see you were there, so that you didn't realize were there or possible. So it is very important. Thank you, gorgeous Kat, to be really well of that self-compassion. I'm all about that, receiving, filling yourself up, learning to put yourself first and give out your overflow. And in that space is receiving the guidance of our emotions, because when we're in a hurry, then we forget about our emotions. And we say in metaphysics, it's God's language, universal language, whatever you want to call it. It's and a lot of the work that I have done on myself and with other people as well is that if we don't listen to the signs, then we just get hit, that bit further. And my biggest lesson in working in nursing and palliative care was listening to patients, and they talked about that the signs were there for a long time. They were aware that their health, wasn't great, or they had some ailments going on, but they were too busy, didn't listen to their emotions, didn't listen that they were feeling tired, needed a rest, kept going. And then eventually, things compound, and then they end up getting diagnosed with, a life-limiting illness. And have shared how that the signs were there previous to that, and they wonder what would have happened had they listened to those signs. Would things have turned out differently? So, I share these lessons for myself and to everyone else, because I feel like people go through these challenges to teach us lessons so that we can implement different things and have different outcomes. And be of service to ourselves, so that then we can be of more service to other people. So that's my lessons today. I just wanted to share. It's nice to be back. It took me a while to get into this year. I was really in being energy over the sort of festive season, January, just really going in my word. I always have a being word for the year, and my being word was inward revolution. So it's a bit of a big one for me this year. I'm going in deep to bring up some subconscious things that I may not be aware of. And when I set that intention, that's totally what happened. So it was great. So I've done some really deep work this year already, and feeling so much lighter and freer. So that's another thing. Choose a word for the year. Who do you want to be for the year? And allow that to inspire you and move forward. And just be aware that you will get the duality of that. We were talking about this at my Joyful Entrepreneurs on Tuesday night. One of the girls had chosen a word of flow. And I said, yeah, that's a great word. And I said, just be aware that when you set those intentions, also if you set words like abundance, what comes up is what's not in alignment with abundance. So it's about then feeling your way through life and not resisting those things and seeing it as bad, because it's just bringing up what's not in alignment with those being words that you choose. So it helps you come to a higher vibration, so that then you are more in flow. But quite often you'll get the duality of that first. So just to be aware, it's not all peaches and cream all the time, but that's where we grow. And I shared with a beautiful friend at business this morning, you don't grow on the mountaintop. So it's in the trenches. So don't be afraid to get in the trenches, because on the other side is so much more light and freedom, and that's where we find ourselves and our resilience. and keeps us inspired and excited to keep moving forward and creating more change and contributing more to people and ourselves. All right, much love to you. I'm off to a party. Have a beautiful weekend. I've got my workshop in the morning again. We're second one for the 7 steps for permission to receive. So yeah, really working with people to help them put themselves first. People are starting to realise how important that is. Getting a lot more mums coming in, which is so beautiful because they realise the importance of being that shining light for their children. And one of the things that I always say is kids don't listen to what you say, but they watch what you do. So you just have to be the light for them to show them then how to, look after themselves. Because you can't say, oh, you should do this, you should do that. If you're not actually doing it, they're not going to take it on because there's no, congruence with that. So looking forward to tomorrow morning. It's going to be, another brilliant workshop, taking some beautiful people through the process of receiving more, and really receiving more of them, more self-love, more power, so that then they can have the courage to live their dreams. All right, much love to you all. Have a beautiful weekend. Mwah. Bye.